AT&T's flagship store parallels 8, Amazon being, well, weird, iOS 6 one step closer to release, and Twitter certified for business. It's Friday, August 31st, 2012, and this is iWake. I'm Tim Chaten, and this is what's going on in the Apple world today. Good morning, and welcome to another edition of iWake. Kicking off the show today is some AT&T news. This time it's pretty good news, actually. First up is a new flagship store for the Death Star. According to 9to5Mac, AT&T has announced the upcoming opening of its new flagship retail store in Chicago. The store, located in the magnificent Mile District, let me try that again, features 10,000 square feet of store place and lots of advanced new technologies. The store has an 18-foot high Connect wall that showcases AT&T's latest news and product details to both people inside and outside of the store. The store has displays throughout, over 100 according to the company. This new flagship store is spread into a few sections, including an apps lounge and lifestyle boutiques. Another interesting feature of the store is one that pertains to its employees. It'll have biometric security systems, so cash registers and store-only functions can be only unlocked, according to this, through fingerprint scans. So hopefully that doesn't break, as I imagine it might. Oh yeah, iPad as a cash register. That's apparently going to be a big deal at this store and many other AT&T stores throughout the country. I cannot find a launch date for this store, but if you're in the Chicago area, keep an eye out for it. I doubt the store launch will be nearly as exciting as, say, an Apple Store one, but who knows? Another AT&T news, I mistakenly thought the network recently launched LTE in Puerto Rico. The fact is, Puerto Rico has been blessed with AT&T's LTE network since November of last year. I saw a tweet about this and thought it was news, but it wasn't. So now if only AT&T could focus on the actual 50 states before moving into other territories. Now into some app news. Last week I told you guys about the new version of VMware Fusion. Well, as promised, here are the details about its competitor, Parallels 8. So what's new in version 8? Well, first off, before we get into that, Parallels, as many of you know, allows you to run Windows and other operating systems on a Mac. So that's what it is, and many of these new features in version 8 make use of Mountain Lion. First up is Speak, don't type. Use the new Mountain Lion dictation tool across both Windows and Mac environments. Next up is an Open in Internet Explorer, and that just sounds weird to me because I really don't like Internet Explorer. But anyways, when a website doesn't render well within Safari on the Mac, launch it in Internet Explorer with a click of a button. Next, Parallels Wizard. Download and automatically install Windows or other operating systems, including Google Chrome OS, Ubuntu, and Android on your Mac. That's right, you can run Android on your Mac, and it's a pretty simple thing to do with this app. Windows apps on OS X Launchpad. You can add Windows apps to your Mountain Lion or Lion Launchpad to quickly launch a Windows app. Pretty nifty there. Next up, consolidated notifications. Integration of Windows notifications into the Mac OS X Notification Center makes it easy to stay up to date on Windows virtual machine operations. Next, Mountain Lion gestures for Windows apps. Enjoy seamless integration of Mountain Lion gestures with Windows apps such as pinch to zoom, mission control, 3-finger drag, swipe between full screen apps, 2-finger scroll, launchpad, and rotate. Next up, Retina display support. Basically, Retina is optimized here. Windows OS and Windows apps will see crisper fonts, more vivid photos and images, and animations. Finally, performance, up to 30% faster for input-output operations, 30% faster for games, 25% faster for virtual machine operations, such as boot, suspend, shut down, and resume, when compared to the Parallels version 7. So there you go. Lots of really, really cool things added in this version. And by the sounds of it, to me at least, Parallels, with all the things it's making use of, actually makes Windows a better experience in a virtual machine than it does natively. You get all these cool Mountain Lion features that aren't in Windows, but yet they're being thrown into Windows because of this app. It's a really cool phenomenon here. So it's available today as an upgrade for existing users, and it's priced at $50. The full version will become available for $80 both online and in retail stores starting on September 4th. Customers who purchased Parallels Desktop 7 for Mac on or after July 25th are eligible, that is 2012, are eligible for a free upgrade. This is highly competitive with VMware Fusion. Both are great apps and both offer demos to try them out ahead of time, so I'd recommend doing that. I do find it odd, at least in the marketing here of this app for Parallels 8, that they don't push Windows 8 as a big thing. This is something VMware Fusion pushed a lot, if I recall. I'm sure Windows 8 runs great in this app, as there are screenshots indicating that it does. But as I said, I did find it odd that they did not mention it too much in the release notes here. So that's that. I don't run Windows on my Mac, so hopefully some of you do find this kind of stuff interesting. It's a big release and big news. In other app news is GIMP. GIMP, for those that don't know, is a free Photoshop-like app, and best of all, it's a free app. In the past, it worked on the Mac by utilizing the X11 environment. Well, the developers have finally released a Mac native version that will make many GIMP users rather happy. No word yet if they'll bring it to the App Store, as I think it's open source and there may be some issues there, but it's online and available for free on their website. Next up is a mention for Byword. Byword is a text editor for Mac and iOS. The iOS version just got a rather big update. The app now supports iCloud folders. In the past, any folders you created on the Mac were simply hidden on iOS. This is a big update and an important one. It's available now for $3. Before moving on to app news, I just want to mention that the introductory price for iStopMotion ends this weekend. That's right, the $30 price tag for iStopMotion 3 is going up to $50. I've been having a ton of fun with this app and made one video that already has around 800 views. We're having Alien and Yoshi and all sorts of other fun stuff. So it's a very fun app if you any interest in creating fun videos with stop motion animation. It's in the Mac App Store. Just search for iStopMotion. It'll go up to $50 sometime this weekend. Now let's move on to some Amazon news. First up is an update to their Kindle app for iOS. According to Engadget, Amazon just pushed out version 3.2 of the reading app, and it's loaded with a slew of new features, including adjustable margins for your preferred reading experience, rapid highlights to let users mark passages within their content, as well as improved brightness controls that in theory should make the overall viewing experience a tad bit better. Meanwhile, print replica textbooks have been enhanced with fresh highlighting traits and an all-new notebook feature to save bookmarks, notes, and images. It's out now, so go and update if you're a Kindle user. I personally am not. Next up is this whole thing about Amazon so-called selling out of the Kindle Fire. Now, as many of you know, Amazon has an event scheduled for next week in Santa Monica, California, in which they'll be announcing at least one new Kindle Fire and probably some new e-ink Kindles as well. So this so-called sellout happened because either Amazon wants to create a buzz and they just simply said, we're not going to sell them anymore, or they simply stopped making new ones months ago, as I don't think they're selling that fast. Amazon continues along with their crappy PR thing here by saying we have 22% of the tablet market, but they neglect to say just how many tablets have they sold. Are they comparing this to Nook tablets, Nexus 7s, or is the iPad included? What is the tablet market? They don't say. They just say we have 22%. So Jim Dalrymple of The Loop shares my feelings by saying this: the mainstream press is jumping all over this pile of crap like it's real news. First, if a company announces that it's sold out of one of its best-selling products, it stopped production, which means Amazon issued a press release saying it stopped production of the Kindle Fire. Of course you're going to sell out. Second, how can Amazon claim it has 22% market share when it has yet to share any sales numbers? Amazon will not say how many Kindle Fire tablets it actually sold. So, yeah, Amazon is pulling some crazy stuff here. Anyways, that is all. Stay tuned. Next week, there will be a few new Kindles announced. Next up is a little update to the iOS 6 beta. So the iTunes Store got a big update in the beta. You can now access previously purchased content on iOS 6. This was something disabled previously. You can also now search for iPad apps on the iPhone. And the whole UI is a lot cleaner and it feels much more like a finished product. The store got updated on pretty much all the apps, iBooks, the podcast app, and of course the iTunes Music Store app, or the iTunes Store app, I should say. And one of the big things is that, you can now search for podcasts in the iTunes Store app. When you do select a podcast, it will prompt you to open it up in the podcast app. This is pretty amazing news for me and hopefully for you as a podcast listener. Having podcasts discoverable in the iTunes Store app, it's a big deal, and I'm glad they did this. This also promotes the podcast app by Apple, which yet again promotes podcasting in general. So great news there. And also you're able to search by type. So if you want to search just for movies, in the search you're able to click more and just search for whatever you want to search for. So lots of great things coming out with just the iTunes Store here. And overall, iOS 6 is coming along rather nicely, and it's getting pretty close to release as we have an event September 12th, and I'd imagine we'll have iOS 6 released September 14th or so, somewhere around there. So it's getting close. Closing out the show today are a few stories. First up are some new hard drives from Western Digital. According to TYW, the MyBook Velociraptor Duo starts at $900. It's billed as the fastest MyBook external hard drive system ever released by Western Digital. While the latest in the My Passport starts at $100. The line adds both capacity and USB 3 interface to these portable drives. So the MyBook Velociraptor Duo is a monster, matching two 1 terabyte 10,000 RPM Western Digital Velociraptor hard drives with twin Thunderbolt ports. That's right, these are server grade 10,000 RPM drives. The drive offers SSD-like data transfer speeds of up to 400 megabytes, and multiple MyBook Velociraptor Duo drives can be daisy-chained without impacting data transfer speeds. The drive can be configured at RAID 0 to maximize speed and capacity, or as RAID 1 to provide instant mirroring of the content. Some of the RAID 0 speeds one can expect include transferring a 22 gigabyte full-length HD movie in less than 65 seconds, or over 2,005 megabyte photos in less than 33 seconds. The drive is user serviceable with a top door that reveals 2 easy install trays. So this is pretty incredible and quite drool-worthy. Being able to replace the drives is a rather awesome thing they did as well. This is one fast setup and something you might want to consider. I personally don't see myself getting one of these in the near future, but it's nice to know it's out there. So what's new in the Passport lineup? Well, as I said at the beginning of this story, they basically just added USB 3, which is great for those MacBook Pros and MacBook Airs that now support this interface. And also, they added a 2 terabyte version at $200. Overall, some nice additions from one of the few remaining hard drive companies out there. Oh, and should I just mention how crazy it is to me? 2 terabytes for a mobile hard drive? That just seems nuts to me. A few years ago, it was just a couple hundred gigabytes. Next up and last of today is a thing called Twitter Certified. So what is Twitter Certified? Well, as it sounds, Twitter will be certifying and promoting some uses of Twitter, in this case for business. According to The Verge, in order to find the best products for brands, publishers, and its other partners, Twitter will start vetting and certifying apps into 3 categories. Engagement products, which help brands keep in touch with their customers. Analytics products, which help businesses learn from their customers on Twitter. Data reseller products, which serve as platforms for innovation on top of large numbers of tweets. So as a result, businesses can now browse a directory of certified apps to help them use Twitter. The program launched with 12 certified apps, including the trend tracker Intensity and the social media analytics service Hootsuite. I'd be curious to see if a consumer version of this ever launches. This is indeed an interesting move by Twitter Twitter is moving fast, and this is just another step in its progression. So that's that. Before closing out the show today, I just want to remind everyone that iWake Again is airing again this weekend. iWake Again is for those that really appreciate iWake. This week, we have a very special guest. Oliver Breidenbach of Boink Software is on the show with me. We talk about their new app, iStop 3. The discussion is about 30 minutes long. We cover a wide spectrum of what iStop is all about, from the very first version and why they made this app to the latest release that came out just this week. It's a fun discussion I hope you'll be able to tune into. So iWake Again is a $10 a month subscription, and it gives you access to around a 30-minute show every Saturday or Sunday as a way to wake up to iWake Again over the weekend, and it provides you a way to pay for the Monday through Friday show that most of you get for free. Another new perk that I'm doing is that you have access to the scripts that I write out for every episode. From the very first episode to episode 200, whatever we're at now, you have access to it. This includes shows that I don't even have show notes for on the website. If you would like to join the iWake Again community, head on over to iWakePodcast.com/again. Once again, that's iWakePodcast.com/again. Well, that's what's going on in the Apple world today. That will do this week for some of us, but not everyone. If you're an iWake Again subscriber, I will talk to you tomorrow. Everyone else, I'll talk to you again on Monday. In the meantime, check out my YouTube channel or check out iWake Again. Have a great weekend. As I said, I'll talk to you Monday. Aloha.